Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and today I want to talk about my goals for 2021 because one, I want to keep myself more accountable, and two, I feel like by keeping myself out and broad in the open, people can be like, yo, you know what you said back in January of 2021? Yeah, you said you were going to do this. Where is it? So let's talk about what my goals are for 2021. First and foremost, my goals for YouTube. My goals for YouTube is to be more consistent in my posting. I want to post at least 2 to 3 videos a week. I want to keep up and produce content. These contents are going to be a little bit more wide genred, as I said back in my new direction for my channel video. I don't want to just stick to MBTI because it's not my only passion. I get obsessed with things, and when I get obsessed with things, I get all the way obsessed with things. And that obsession is kind of shifting from MBTI to other things. So yes, there are still going to be MBTI videos. Don't get me wrong. I'm still obsessed, but I'm also obsessed with other things right now. So there's gonna be more. I'm also starting an Instagram for MBTI and psychology. It's called Psychology and Chill, and my goal there is to talk about MBTI, psychology, typing characters, all that stuff in a little bit more of a structured format so that my videos can be a little bit more broad, which then leads me into the next topic, which is reading. So this last year, you guys might have noticed, I read a lot. That actually is atypical for me. I haven't read 20 books within a year since probably high school, when I was like my most avid reader self. So it's been really, really great to get back into reading, but also when you get into reading, you want to talk about the books that you've read, because part of why you like reading is for the social aspect, like the book club aspect. So I want to read more and I want to talk more about what I'm reading. So I have a couple of goals for my reading this year. One of those is to read at least 4 nonfiction books this year. I'm already halfway through my first nonfiction. I already have the second put on hold at the library. So I just want to make sure that I read 4 nonfiction books. One of those is more than likely going to also be personality related. Then I also want to just read at least 3 books a month. I think that I'm selling myself a little short by setting that goal so low, but I also feel like if I set it higher and I don't attain it, I'm gonna feel really bad. So I'm setting my goal at 3 books a month, which is a little under 1 a week, which according to my current reading speed, 100% possible. Then I also want to get more into understanding my tastes, and something that I say over and over and over again is I don't like fight scenes, I don't like fighting, I don't like violence. So I'm trying to read more books that have fighting and violence. One of the first books that I'm reading this year, and I'm actually already like halfway through, is Rage of Dragons, and I just want to read a few more books that are incredibly violent because I want to know, is it actually the violence that bothers me, or is it everything else around it that bothers me? How much does violence actually matter for me to enjoy a book? So I'm kind of trying to figure that out, and so I'm pushing myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I also want to read more classic sci-fi, so I have a goal to read 4 more classic sci-fi. I'm probably going to read another book from the Foundation trilogy. I'm also probably going to read Dune, and then, you know, if there's other classic sci-fi that come up, I'll probably read them as well. Any of you who followed me since I started this channel know that I am crazy about writing. I write a lot. I write pretty much every day. I wouldn't say it's always every day, but it is always on the back of my mind that I'm writing and I'm working towards something. And this year, I have decided to do something that I have never done before. I am going to write a novella. A novella is basically not quite long enough to be a novel, not quite short enough to be a short story. And in doing research over the last few years, when I started getting into writing and looking into advertising, something that comes up is having content that you can give to people that is going to be easily digestible so they can see if they like you and your writing style before they go in to buy a novel or something like that. And also, one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch, Daniel Green, he's writing a novella, and Feels like a good idea. One of the things that I've been struggling with is that my novel series, I feel like I want it to be my magnum opus of my writing. I want it to be incredible. And because I have this pressure to make it incredible, I'm really tearing myself up about any feedback that I get from it. So part of my other goal with this novella is to have something that I can put out into the world and not care as much about the quality as I do the main series. Obviously, quality is still going to matter. Obviously, I'm still going to be heartbroken when somebody says that they hate it. However, I want to push myself and actually release something that I can give to people and people can read and know Michelle wrote that. And so right now I'm working on a novella. Yes, technology is involved because I love sci-fi. It's not really enough to make a full novel, and it's a part of the story that I think really adds a lot of context to the main series, but isn't really important to put in the main series. So it's going to help me explore some of the themes that I was trying to pack into a tiny little novel, and it's going to give me something that I can give to people. So my goal in 2020 is to have this book, this novella, ready for you guys to read by October. So I want you guys to hold me to this. I want you guys to be excited for this book because I'm excited for this book, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be creepy. It's going to make you scared of technology a little bit, I hope. I'm really excited about it. I'm just gonna say I'm really excited about it, and I want to actually talk more about the technology in my sci-fi world so that you guys can get a little hype with me about my story, because I'm hype. Main character's an ISTP, by the way, so those of you guys who want to read about an ISTP cop, I'm your girl. I love ISTP cops. It's like one of my favorite tropes is this like ISTP, like going against the grain kind of cop who's got these conspiracy theories, no one believes him. I love that trope, and I'm exploring it a little bit in this story. So yeah, I hope you join me along on the ride. That's my writing goals for 2021. That's it. Those are my goals.
That's all, folks.
I'm trying not to overdo it on the goals. I have, in years past, overdone it on the goals. I'm crazy. So for 2020, I want my goals to be reasonable, and I think that I have hit the realm of reasonableness. What are your goals for 2021? Go ahead and let me know down below. And while you're there, go ahead and like and subscribe so you can see if I fulfill any of these goals. And just thank you so much for being here. If you want to support me and what I do have a Patreon, but I'm not going to beg you for your money because I don't really have anything to offer right now. If you guys think of something that you think I could offer on the Patreon, let me know. I don't know why it is, but it is so hard to figure out like what is appropriate to put on the Patreon. I've actually stepped down at work so that I can have more time to focus on this. So I'm going to figure out like what the Patreon will be for. But right now it's just if you want to support me, so you don't have to, but you know, a like and sub, that is the freest way that you can help me become successful, and I'd appreciate that. But all that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a beautiful, amazing, fantastic day, year, and decade. Bye.